All right, you guys make your way through town. It is now, the sun is setting, the shadows are deep and long and hard to see into with the golden light of the sunset. The town is shifted from like the busy kind of bedlam of daytime and shopping into more nightlife and kind of like lively laughter and things that people as families sit down for dinner and people make their way home. Still a few workers kind of closing up shop and doing what they do. You guys actually walk for a few minutes. You guys are going up through the middle of town. You guys were in basically the warehouse / inn district. You make your way up north through like kind of like a low rent residential district, and then you guys make your way through the market, and then up kind of the houses start to get a little bit bigger and a little bit more nice. There's guards and attendants standing outside, and you are led up to the mayoral manor, which resides in the middle of town. If you've spent any time around town, you will have walked past this place. It is very centrally located. The gate stands open, but it does have a 12-foot tall wall around it, and there are plenty of men dressed in a similar dark charcoal kind of colored livery as this uniform as this Brendan is as he leads you through the town, kind of competently standing around, looking around, keeping an eye on things, and just keeping the streets free of arrows through the throat.
Did we walk over the dead man to get this?
The dead man was gone when he came back outside. Yeah,
he was already gone.
Yep,
all right.
There was a spot of blood. Yep, you can move him.
Yeah, he's gone. Goodbye.
You could put him around your necklace there, Nick, if you want. There you go. So you guys make your way through town. Actually, Matt, do you mind just erasing all that?
No.
Thank you. So you guys make your way up through there, and you're led through the gate. Assuming you follow, always interrupt me if there's something that I say that you do that you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. But you guys make your way through, and the sun is now well and truly setting and turning into a bright purple sky. As you walk through the gate of the front, there are braziers and burning on the sides of the path as you're led through this kind of like nice cobblestone path up to the front of the manor. The manor is 2 stories tall. It's quite large. Those of you who have seen such civilized buildings, unlike our good ranger friend here, Liam, you guys will know that this is more than a house. This is more like a center of politics and business for the area as well. There are quite a lot of rooms and stuff, and there are even some benches outside where merchants and constabularies are chatting about various things.
As we're walking up to this gigantic building, am I able to kind of drop off the back of the pack, as I don't feel comfortable walking up to this gigantic building. It's not something I'm used to.
So you're feeling like, you want to drop off and like...
Can I kind of trail back off from the group and kind of maybe follow them, but with my own distance, as I don't know what's going to come up ahead of us?
Sure, make a stealth check.
It's a nat 20.
Yep.
Okay.
You say, I'm going to get a little bit of space here. I want some breathing room. Mm-hmm. And the group keeps walking. And you realize you could leave. You could step off to the side and go like hide in the bushes. You can do you've in a very non-threatening way. You've completely separated yourself away, and none of your party or anybody has noticed that they've just kept on walking, completely assuming that because you've been with them for the last 20 minutes. So
I'm going to continue to follow the party, but just at my own distance.
Okay. I will say, and I'm absolutely not telling you what to do. You could, they are going to go inside, and you're going to basically have to get right back up and be part of the party, because or else you lose them.
Right.
Or you can wait outside or whatever. Whatever you want to do. Do you want to follow them into the big monolithic, oppressive castle of civilization?
I'm going to hang around outside and look for a window. To try to keep an
eye on things.
Keep track of where they're at.
Not because you're afraid, but because
he stealthily observes.
Yeah, I like it. Very cool. All right, that's fun. All right, so unfortunately, Nick, you may be watching for a few minutes, but I will try and bounce back.
That's fine.
Come up with something creative for you as we do this. Let's see. What Justin. You've noticed that the livery of the guards in the area is this kind of charcoal gray outfit, and they will have a half cape kind of draping over one shoulder, and typically a long sword on their hip. But Thornton, you would definitely notice that they have a variety of weapons, so it's not quite standard issue, and meaning to
it's not like a military. Everybody grabbed a sword.
Correct. But everything seems competent and selected on purposeful.
They're all of the same make, but just different varieties.
Correct.
All right.
It would be something that I think your guy would notice. You guys make your way through, and you guys make your way, into the main door. There's a great hall there with a bunch of empty tables. It looks like a room for orating and addressing larger groups of people. And you're led in through up the stairs and around the back and down a hall and kind of getting a little twisted and turned in this place as you're led into kind of into the office section, and there are a few smaller offices in the hallway ends, and a great double oak door opens up, and Brendan calmly opens the door and gestures for you to go in, and at that moment he's like, "Weren't there 3 of you?"
I turn around and say, "I believe there was."
He's like, "Okay," and that's good enough for him, and he gestures you guys in. Sitting at the table is a graying, long-haired man, but who looks very competent at what he does. Very jovial face, a very, very, kind of bright-eyed as you walk in there. Human, upper middle-aged, balding a bit on the top, and he's like, who have you brought for me? Who have you brought to me here, Brendan? And Brendan's like, these are the men. These are the men from the slotted eel. And he's like, ooh, okay, great. Hesitates a bit, and then gestures you guys over to have a seat with him. He starts to pour some wine. Yeah.
I'm not up on the wine, but I'll have a seat.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a little clunky considering I'm not taking off my shield or my hammer.
Okay, sure.
So there's a little shuffling.
Just kind of like clunk.
Yeah. Well, the hammer's in my belt.
Yeah.
But it makes noise as I sit.
Navigate it through the armrest and everything.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, but not in a way that would keep me from standing up.
Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. I like it. The tank sits in the finery chair. The wine smells nice to those of you who do have an appreciation for it. Basically, Mayor Thomas Brethelton, because you guys have already figured out a little bit of this, he starts to regale you with a story of that he's heard of your very noble and brave fight, and it's unfortunate matter that some of these things happen, but he thinks that you may be the kind of people who can help him solve a very sensitive matter in town. He said, have you heard about the children?
Yes.
We have.
He says, then I'm sure that two astute gentlemen as yourself will realize that this is a very sensitive subject and not something that can be just looked over, but must be handled with delicacy and consideration for not only the town, but the commerce of the town. He's like, and the job is quite simple. I would like you to travel down to the Aegrotos Bridge, which is, and he describes where it is. Anybody in town knows there's these 5 bridges that kind of connect the town, and they're all named, and they're all what is it, 4 bridges? I guess 4 bridges on my tongue. And then one of them is a double bridge at the south side of town, the Aegrotos Bridge. And he says that seems to be the primary place where they can narrow down the abductions to, and that it's been a couple street urchins have made complaints, and they paid it no mind, and then a few children over the last month have gone missing there at night. And he would like you guys to figure out what's going on. And he looks at you, Thornton, and he says, I think that your particular proclivities may be of particular use in this, considering that it is a blight against all things good that must be doing something so heinous.
So you believe it to be a creature of evil nature?
It's taking children? Yeah.
Evil magically or just evil? Just evil.
Do you ask him that? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
I'll ask him.
Oh yeah, he did. I was just wondering if he's caught off guard like I was. He's like. The only explanation for something so evil has got to be a low intelligence, malevolent force. He's like, whether it's magic or not, I don't care. I want it destroyed and gone from my city. He's very serious. He takes this very seriously, and he's very concerned. He was very concerned, but he also proficient at doing his job.
And were these men hired to attack us? A test?
He is caught off guard at that. He's like, oh. Well, it's a dreadful bit of business, he said, but I'm sure you'll understand that plenty of people come through this town looking for work and doing various deeds, but I do not have the time nor do the children have the time to wait for just anyone to come and help them out. This needs to be delicately and proficiently handled immediately. And I will admit that I have taken the risk of breaking some eggs to make this omelet, and that are the ingredients I've been looking for.
So
he is a king of metaphors. Amazingly eloquent.
I am okay with that because we did not get hit enough times to determine whether these people were actually out for blood or just knocking us around.
For sure.
True.
Yeah. And do you feel any remorse at the death? I'm asking you this out of character or out of game.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't believe I've done anything wrong,
Sure.
and I've spoke my bit one way or another to the ranger about my feelings of the.
And he bailed. He's totally skipped town.
Yeah, he's just gone now. So
whatever.
I'm like, well, that's over.
Yeah.
All right, dealt with.
One
sandwich purchased.
One sandwich gone. And, Liam, do you have anything to ask of the mayor?
Wrong character.
No, Liam. I'm sorry, guys. Urith.
Yeah.
I'm outside.
Where are the windows?
He's like, do you have any sandwiches?
Didn't realize this whole building was bricks. God.
Is there anything else we know about the situations where they've been starting, and do we know any patterns that have been happening to them?
It is incredibly concentrated around the Araldus Bridge on the south side of town. He said that there are always fights and random events and things, especially considering how many people come through this town at night and whatever. And it's usually, an uninvestigatable case. But this is definitely a concurrence of disappearances at this bridge in the last month down there. So pretty much the space is done, and the time of day being nighttime, he says it may take a few days for you guys to come up with anything. It's honestly going to be a stakeout, though you, and he points to the dwarf again, with your faith, may have tools, additional tools to this. He's like, Bard, he calls you, he'll call you Bard. Bard is a very high praise. A bard is not a common thing. A minstrel, sure. A guy who sings a song or tells a story, sure. But a person who can command the presence of kings and queens is a bard. And he calls you Bard, and he says, Bard, I am not sure how much of an assistance to this fine gentleman here you'll be, but perhaps the story will be one to regale generations to come.
I see. And what are we looking at for compensation-wise, as obviously we're going to need to eat?
It's a good question. He says, fair enough. He's like, actually, kind of looks at you. He's like, you guys look like upstanding, higher class citizens. He's like, I could put you up in one of the empty, what are they called? Ambassador homes that we have on the north side of town. He's like, there is we don't have any really large congregations in town of people, so perhaps I could put you up there and you'll be fed and whatever. He's like, if food's your concern, and he's like, of course you'll be compensated for your time. He's like, how does 5 gold pieces a day sound until the situation is solved?
Can I use persuasion
Of course.
to make it 8? As we are very valuable members of society here.
Go ahead and make a check.
Ooh, 15 plus 6, so 21.
Yeah, you lay out all sorts of wonderful reasons of why he should respect your abilities and whatever, and he says absolutely. He says, report your findings every day and receive your pay at the end of the end of the business day every day. So like tomorrow at 5, come back and tell him what you found if you go out tonight and whatever, and you'll be
done.
So he's like, for just the two of you.
So we're splitting it?
Well, no, 8 and 8.
Oh, I'm
just
fine either way. I'm not after the money.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just implying that Yahoo here is back on his own.
We may have a third member in on this as well.
Maybe.
Do what?
I said maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
He says it's within the budget to
Okay.
should you require one additional person of your choosing.
Indeed.
Okay. At that he escorts you, or he assumes that you guys are going to want to start on the next day, or do you want to start tonight?
I'm still awake for the rest of the night, so don't know about you guys.
Yeah, you haven't even started drinking yet, really.
Yeah.
He says, okay. He says he arranges for Brendan to show you guys where you'll be staying, and then which is on the north side of town, and then take you back down to the Aldous Bridge, if you're so inclined.
I'm game for it. I spent the day traveling, so I'm not that tired.
Yeah. Whatever.
It's not like I've been fighting thugs in the street.
No, that just it wouldn't hardly call that a fight. So okay, cool. So he leads you guys to the north side of town. They're right up against the hills. There are these two kind of like cul-de-sacs or around inlets of streets that have very large estates on them. Not nearly as large as the mayor's manor, but like these are. You're clearly in the nice side of town. He leads you up there and shows you where you'll be staying. It's a very nice building with multiple rooms. You could easily put up a couple dozen people in there, tightly but comfortably. Brendan says that he just kind of keeps it short. Says that there will be somebody to have breakfast for you in the morning when you return. Make sure that you have everything you need. Just yours to some nice beds, and yeah, you're good to go. And then he'll take you back down to the south side of town if you want. On the way out, you would have been outside. Are you following them, or are you rejoining?
I'm still stealthily following around.
Very cool. So I would definitely say Thornton and Urith, you guys are. He's gone. The ranger's gone. There's no sign of him. Came back outside. You know what I mean?
So we're just like, well,
yeah.
Maybe he went back to the inn.
I'm still deciding if I like these two
Absolutely.
or not, if I trust them.
I love it. Okay, yeah. On your way back down, Urith, do you want to swing by the inn and check out and see if he's there?
Yeah, I do actually.
All right, he is not. Somebody is on stage doing covers of songs by Diedrich since you didn't show up tonight.
Oh, that bastard.
All right, so you guys make your.
Can I prestidigitation his face?
You are a hero, so you can, and we will leave it to the fanfics to decide what that could be. Yeah, you do so.
I will be leaving flightly.
Nice. Inspiration point there, good sir. Actually, you too, Nick. You guys all have one inspiration point now to use as you will. So you guys haven't rested yet. Jake, you can, but in this time, you're back up to full. You've been resting. You just got a bruised face. You didn't take any. It's all bludgeoning damage.
And am I back up to full?
What did you get hit with?
I took 2 damage.
Yeah.
From an attack of opportunity. I think.
Yeah, your head stops.
Yeah.
You're more irritated that your shield got human on it, and
There's street urchin on my shield.
Just a little smear of grease and desperation.
Okay.
You guys will make your way out down to Aldous Bridge.
Is that this fella down
Yep,
here?
that is.
Okay.
So let's take a break for a second and wet our whistles and whatever, and we'll resume in a few minutes.
That'd be 13.
Yeah. You remove its putrid head from its putrid shoulders, and just in a splatter of gore, send it stumbling back into the water, and it starts to float away.
I am saddened by the fact that it fell back into the water.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah.
That's true. Way to go, asshole.